How's it going? No, that's not it. Sup, weebs? He doesn't even say it like that. Sup, weebs? It's not. That's definitely not it. It's not. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It doesn't roll off the tongue. And I think he's probably changed his name too. Good day. Nope, definitely not that one. That not sexy enough for that. Not sexy enough for that. I think it goes somewhere like something like what's happening? No, kappening. Because it's a play on words with happening and cap, put it together because it's happening right now. This is what's going on. Hence, kappening. That makes sense. That's pretty clever. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, but with more gusto this time and more charisma. I think charisma's. I think that's what brings it together. All right, here we go. Let's try it. What's happening, guys, and welcome to our UBC Season 6 draft analysis. I'm super hyped to be recording just in general and to show you this brand new team we have in front of us. And of course, you guys did get a chance to pick out one of the mons that we had or could potentially pick. And you guys did show up, so thank you so much for doing that. It will be revealed at the end of this video. And once again, if you guys get 10, that's right, 10, the amount of fingers that you have on your hand, we will bring this Pokemon a certain amount of times. I don't know how much, but we will. That is going to be Future Cap's problem. Because you know what? That guy's a loser. Future Cap, that's his problem. That's his problem. Alright, so I'm taking a look at the list that we have over here, and it's not a bad looking list. Particularly that number, the last pick that we have, that is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But, anywho, enough of the gibber, move on to the jabber. And round one, a lot of people were selecting high, they were selecting Pokemon that are worth a lot of mons, and there was a lot of things out there that was worth a lot. So I knew I had to make either my check bounce or I had to make my points bounce. And I decided to go with Mega Dansey over here. Mega Dansey is a Pokemon. It does stuff. And it's good. Fairly good. But, unfortunately, I had to pair this mon up with something that could deal with its things that it does not like. And that mon is a bird. And it's not any bird. It's actually a god. It is a bird god. That's right, Zapdos. We ended up picking up Zapdos over here. I know I did not explain Mega Dansey, but there's a reason for that. And the reason is I'm still thinking of it right now as I speak, because I'm just killing time and thinking of ways that I can explain myself even better. But I finally have thought about it, so don't worry. I'm doing it by the deal because I had to think that way. I had to figure out, alright, if this Pokemon goes with this, if I select this, how can they complement each other? And Mega Dansey and Zapdos do complement each other fairly well. I just need to build a team that sort of builds around those mons. Mega Dansey does not like steel types or ground types or water types. Zapdos gets rid of water types, and it can absorb steel types really well. It has the ability static, and I can run that with defog. That is phenomenal because that allows Mega Dansey to be that much more threatening. If something fast is paralyzed and it hits me physically, because a lot of steel types are physical, Mega Dansey could potentially just finish off the game like that. Zapdos is a reliable recover. It has Volt Switch. It's just an annoying mon to deal with, and an offensive Zapdos is something to never sleep on too. Mega Dansey just has incredible typing just as a pair. Rock and Fairy. Whew, calm down there, Mega Dansey. But after I pick up those two mons over there, I decided that I wanted to build up my fantasy core just because a lot of the dragon and steel types were going away quickly, and I knew I had to build it up fairly soon because from my experience it sort of sucks not having a dragon type or a good dragon type. Fortunately for me, there was 2 dragon types on the board, and I decided to go with a Scizor. What? That's not a dragon type, that's a steel type. Well, that's what I selected on my 3rd round actually. You fine sirs out there. I decided to go with Scizor because a lot of steel types were actually getting taken, and that's not good. Well, taken is good, but taken 3 not good. But all jokes aside, Scizor is good, and it brings me priority in terms of Bullet Punch. Really good pursuit user. Love using that pursuit. Plus, it's another defogger, And I actually had selected another defogger for my next pick, that is Latias. Ha! Jokes! What? Latias is actually pretty good in terms of, like, just overall. It's a good pull one. It finishes my fantasy core, that being Mega Dancy, Scizor, and Latias. Latias absorbs water attacks, fire attacks. Scizor gets rid of psychic types, which I don't have a problem with. Dancy gets rid of dragon types, fighting types, anything that's just a type. Anything that exists, including homework and bad stuff like tinfoil. Yeah, it's a mean mon. But yeah, Latias is nice because it does give me a special defensive wall. That is something that I was really missing and really wanted, and I've been good all year long, and I just got what I wished for that time, so that's awesome. Plus a Heal Beller is nice too. Oh, didn't even think about that one. Heal Beller, nice. Next up, I wanted to pick up a fire type. I didn't really want to pick one up, but there wasn't a lot of good fire types out there at this point, and I had decided to pick up an Alolan Marowak, a mon that I've become very familiar with, and a Pokemon with a really cool design. I'm happy that I've become familiar with it, because it's, yeah, like I said, really cool design. Alolan Marowak allows me to deal with more steel types, with more fighting types, more normal types, and it's another stealth rocker, which was something that was sort of lacking because I drafted like 3 defoggers out of my 4, so I was like, maybe 4 defoggers is a bit too much. I should calm down on that. Yeah, let's calm down on that. Plus, it's a really good physical wall breaker. I saw that there was a lot of decent defensive teams, and I should probably draft something that could break those defensive teams. Alolan Marowak does that. Super excited, super happy to be reunited with this mon. It feels so good. And it feels right. It feels really right. And speaking about reunions, that's right, we are drafting Dugtrio, aka Triple D's. Oh yeah. Dugtrio is a mon that plays some more mind games in terms of team building. A lot of people will be trying to plan out for Arena Trap, and that's something that I'm pretty excited for because I already have a lot of mons that people do have to plan out for. Having the Arena Trap to plan out for is something that's really annoying and perhaps takes an item away from someone that it might need for another mon. So let's see if we can play Dugtrio the way that it can be played. It is also our Z move user because for me, Z Momento and Z Earthquake or Z Stone Edge is it's pretty nice. Like it's really nice. Having the ability to go before a Screech and a Z move after that could take out some Pokemon that I thought would be annoying. So pretty excited about that, and allows things like Mega Dancy, Zapdos, Scizor, Latias, Alolan Marowak to really put on a lot more pressure. Z Momento, or just getting rid of the Pokemon entirely. Plus it adds another Stealth Rocker too, which is something that, you know, I can't complain about. Because at that point I had a lot more defoggers than hazards. Yeah. Next up, I want to add something that added a bit of leche and cats, I guess. I don't know about that, but I wanted something that set up reliable rocks, and that mon is actually Miltank. For me, Miltank wasn't something that I necessarily had to take right away, but it was something that could help this team a bit more. It especially put a lot less pressure on different mons too. Miltank is probably going to be one of those mons that I just run it the same every week, but yeah, it depends on the situation. For myself, Miltank does the job that I needed to do. It is one of the only mons that really do take on Tapu Bulu somewhat well. Sorta, not really. But it also takes on like some decent physical attacks. Thick Fat is nice, Sap Zipper is nice, Scrappy is nice. Base 100 speed is surprisingly fast, oddly enough. But yeah, it does do annoying things. It has the T-Wave, it has the Stealth Rocks, Body Slam is pretty annoying. And it's just one of those annoying Pokemon to deal with. For the points that it was worth, I was happy picking out this next one. Next up, I knew I was running out of options in terms of fighting and dark types. My earlier debate was actually picking up Hydreigon instead of Latias, and I was sort of kicking myself in the butt about this one just because I was like, I should have picked it up, because I had so many plans and life was looking pretty good at that point, but I didn't, so I picked up Latias instead. But I'm pretty happy about this one because I did pick up Pangoro. I actually got sniped pretty bad about this one. My first initial pick was a Alolan Persian because that would have been fantastic, but I saw that Pangoro was still around and it's a wall breaker and it is a dark fighting type and it deals with a lot of good stuff. So I'm pretty excited to use this Pokemon. I have never seen this Pokemon. I have never played against this Pokemon, and it has a pretty good point value. So I was like, all right, let's try this fella out here. Let's try it out. Yeah, pretty excited about that. It's weird. I've never thought I would draft this mod, but here it is, looking scary. Plus parting shot. There we go. End of story. Great analysis, Cap. Great analysis. It's been a year and we missed this. Next up, I decided this was sort of a pick that's been planned out a long time ago. I believe at Doug Trio I planned it out long time ago, and I saw that probably this wasn't going to get picked up just for what it is, and I decided to pick up Cloyster. Cloyster is really nice because it does get paired up with Doug Trio, it does get paired up with Pangoro, and it does have a solid Volt turn team going on too. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about having the Cloyster too. Cloyster brings me setup, it brings me rapid spin, spikes. I can run different things really easily each and every week. Plus, it does have liquidation now, so Shell Smash becomes that much more scarier, and Cloyster just becomes that much more scarier. So I'm looking forward to using Cloyster in all its Cloysteriness. Plus, it does bring me a typing that I do need, which is Water and Ice. Just great offensive abilities, and not great defensive abilities, but great offensive presence once again. It does sort of block out the speed tier that I was sort of having trouble with in terms of reaching that base. Like a mon that can set up at a base, well, I don't even know its speed anymore. But yeah, speaking of those speeds and whatnot, I decided to pick up a familiar mon because I had nothing to really deal with water types. Sorta. It was just extra insurance in terms of water types. I decided to pick up a Roserade once again. Once again, I did pick up some more hazards, and this team really does appreciate setting up hazards. It really appreciates the long game, or it appreciates an offensive game. So this is a team that I've become like really I've grown attached to it really quickly just because of how it's set up and what sort of options I have. I do have Trick Room options, that being in terms of Pangoro, Alolan Marowak, or even the Scizor. There's options like that where I can set up Trick Room and it can really apply a lot of pressure. It has a plethora of hazard options, setting up Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rocks, decent hazard control in terms of Magic Bounce, Defog, Rapid Spin. It has bulky Pokemon. It has different options to really play around. It has a lot of ways to really dictate a game. And I was like, alright, what else do I need? This team needs something that can be monumental, that will change the tide of any battle, and oh my gosh. I was like, I can't pick. This is just way too much for me. I'm gonna let the people decide. I'm gonna let people decide. And you guys, you people out there, all you beautiful people, you have decided for Bunnelby.